Yeah. Whenever you're ready, you can start here, Mataji. Yeah.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna, dear, dear. Go ahead,
for
Prabhuji.
sharing, can you give me the access?
Yes, Prabhu. I'll make you the host also. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 44, text 35 to 51. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nastapраyeषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Text 35. Seeing Lord Krishna approaching like death personified, the quick-witted Kamsa instantly rose from his seat and took up his sword and shield. Sword in hand, Kamsa moved quickly from side to side like a hawk in the sky. But the Lord Krishna, whose whose fearsome strength is irresistible, powerfully seized the demon just as the son of Daksha might capture a snake. Grabbing Kamsa by the hair and knocking off his crown, the lotus navel lord threw him off the elevated dais onto the wrestling mat. Then the independent lord, the support of the entire universe, threw himself upon the king. As a lion dragged a dead elephant, the Lord then dragged Kamsa's dead body along the ground in full view of everyone present. O king, all the people in the arena tumultuously cried out, Oho, Oho. Kamsa had always been disturbed by the thought that the Supreme Lord was to kill him. Therefore, when drinking, eating, moving about, sleeping, or simply breathing, the king had always seen the Lord before him with the disc weapon in his hand. Thus Kamsa achieved the rare boon of attaining a form like the Lord's. Kamsa's 8 younger brothers, led by Kanka and Nagradaka, then attacked the lords in a rage, seeking to avenge their brother's death. As they ran swiftly toward the two lords, ready to strike, the son of Rohini slew them with his club just as a lion easily kills other animals. Cattle drums resounded in the sky as Brahma, Shiva, and other demigods, the Lord Expansion, rained down the flowers upon him with pleasure. They chanted his praises and their wives danced. My dear king, the wives of Kansa and his brothers, aggrieved by the death of their well-wishing husband, came forward with tearful eyes, beating their hands, embracing their husband and who lay on a hero's final bed. The sorrowful woman loudly lamented while shedding constant tears. The woman cried out, Alas, O Master, O dear one, O knower of the religious principle, O kind and compassionate, protector of the shelterless. By your being slain we have also been slain, together with your household and offspring. O great heroes among men, bereft of you, its master, this city has lost its beauty, just as we have, and all festivity and good fortune within it have come to an end. O dear one, you have been brought to this state because of the terrible violence you committed against innocent creatures. How can one who harms others attain happiness? Lord Krishna causes the appearance and disappearance of all beings in this world, and he is their maintainer as well. One who disrespects him can never prosper happily. Sukadeva Goswami, after consoling the royal ladies, Lord Krishna, sustainer of all the world, arranged for the prescribed several rites to be performed. Text, text 50. Then Krishna and Balaram release their mother and father from bondage and offer obeisance to them, touching their feet with their heads. Text 51. Devaki and Vasudeva, now knowing Krishna and Balaram to be the lords of the universe, simply stood with the joined palms. Being apprehensive, they did not embrace their son. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Hemangi Mataji, for reading Srimad Bhagavatam today. Thank you, Sundaran Prabhu. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Sikshashramekam Purusha Puranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sariradari Kripambudir Tamaham Prapadye Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langete girim yatkrupatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today in this section, we are seeing finally Kamsa is being vanquished by Krishna. Now, so the Devaki and Vasudeva has been waiting for so many years to see Krishna. So here in the beginning of this chapter, Sukadeva Goswami is elaborating how Krishna took up the challenge of Chanura and Mushtika. And initially, the lordships, they appeared like fighting with them, and then everybody was a little bit apprehensive. The audience were actually saying that this is not a match. You know, Krishna and Balram was just young boys, and these fighters were very, full of muscles and they were very powerful. And then they were literally worried. And then Krishna and Balram thought, okay, it's not time to play, then we have to finish this match. So soon after that, Krishna and Balram defeated Chandra and Mushtika. So the other wrestlers over there, Toshala and others, they also came forward and they were also being locked out by Krishna and Balram. So then rest of them, they actually fled because of fear of their lives. You know, they could actually see Krishna and Balram. Krishna defeated Kolayapida, so powerful elephant, and so many instances, so they could actually literally see that power of the lordships, and they chose Krishna as opposed to Kamsa. So if they are not going to fight, they have to face the rage of Kamsa. If they will fight, they have to face lordships. So they decided that to face the rage of Kamsa is better, and then they left the arena. So now in this chapter, as we are going forward, now the whole purpose of Krishna coming here is to relieve his mother and father, Devaki and Vasudeva. So the moment has come when Kamsa's death has to be, performed. So now at this time, Lord Krishna looked at Kamsa, and Kamsa also understood how the Lord is going to attack him next. So immediately he took upon his sword and shield. It was mentioned here. So, so starting from verse number 35, Kamsa is seeing Lord Krishna as a death personified. So in the spiritual context, in the spiritual world, everything is a person. So Krishna, when he arranges this material world, he also gives every aspect of the creation. He actually keeps one person behind. So that's why when we see the Bhumi, earth personified, Mother Earth, everything behind the material nature, there is a person. The material elements, there is a person. So behind death also there is death personified. So here Kamsa is seeing that Lord Krishna approaching him, like it was mentioned here, like a mrutyum atmana ashanat, so like a death personified. And immediately he just rose upon from his seat and he took up his sword to fight. So Jagrahe Asho Ashi Charmani. So just immediately he was very quickly he was trying to protect himself. So Lord Krishna, even death personified, is scared of Lord Krishna. So, but that death personified, Vaishnavas basically they overcome because they took shelter on the lotus feet of Krishna. So that's why Srila Prabhupada is called Abhaya Charanar. Abhaya Charan means one who is fearless because he has taken the lotus feet, sheltered the lotus feet of Krishna. So Krishna's lotus feet is gives shelter for the whole creation. And Prabhupada also gives some examples, like if you have to cross over the ocean of suffering, then you cannot just take a small boat or a big ship. You have to take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. And then what happens? The whole material world, which is the ocean of birth and death, it's so big, it becomes like a calf's hoof print, so small, then you can just jump over it. So that is the verdict of Shastras. So here, um, because Lord Krishna himself is, coming to attack Kamsa, it was so scary. He was the whole life Kamsa was contemplating on this moment. Imagine he got to know about this when Devaki and Vasudeva got married. Through Akashvani. Every day he was contemplating on this scene. So it is nothing new for him. So one who contemplates again, it becomes much more graphic. So now Kamsa is realized that the moment of death has come, and he's trying to come to that point of accepting it. So immediately here, Krishna didn't take much time because he didn't want to waste any more time in relieving Devaki and Vasudev. So immediately he knocked Kamsa with a blow, and then he fell down. So here the example is given. Example is given. So Kamsa was moving just like a hawk in the sky, trying to escape. But Krishna, being very with a fearful strength, is immediately he ceased, just like a capturing the eagle capturing a snake, right? Like that. So, and then another example Sukadeva Goswami is giving is it's like a lion dragging the elephant, So Kamsa, here it is mentioned that pragriya kesheshu chalat kiritam. So the crown has been knocked off. So Kamsa's crown has been knocked off, and his hair, Krishna has taken his hair and he's literally dragging Kamsa. So even when Krishna was, killing many demons, he witnesses, a little bit of his prowess. Sometimes he becomes very heavy, sometimes he becomes very hot, like that, different kinds of prowess. So in this case, it is mentioned Krishna has expressed his power of becoming so heavy. So he just threw himself onto the onto Kamsa. So it is mentioned that the Lord, who is the support of the entire universe, threw himself upon the king. So the weight of the entire universe is falling upon Kamsa. You can see. Um, so it is mentioned Tashya Uparishit Swayam Abjanava. So Abjanava means one who is lotus navel Supreme Lord. So he is Mother Kunti also starts glorifying Krishna from the navel. Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, Nama Pankaja Maline. So here that Lord, that Krishna, here is just pouncing on Kamsa. And in the Krishna book also, Prabhupada elaborates how Kamsa was attacked. So Krishna at once straddled his chest and began to strike him over and over again. Simply from the strokes of his fist, Kamsa lost his vital force. So there was no weapon used. There was simply Krishna was just with his fist, he just knocked on the chest of Kamsa, and Kamsa lost his vital force. So here the whole arena was very much surprised that the powerful Kamsa, who was terrorizing everyone, who was keeping everyone under control, even he put his father in the prison, and that person was immediately just finished in just few moments. Krishna finished. They were like all surprised, and it is mentioned here that Sarva Janair Nara Indra. So here everyone was so much surprised. They were considering so much powerful ruler. Nara Indra means he's like a human, but he is very powerful like Indra. How come Krishna just killed in a fraction of a second like that? So that was very powerful. So in the Vishnu Purana also there was one verse that is describing this particular scene. Tato aha kritam sarvam ashit tadranga mandalam avajnaya hatam drustva krishnena matureshwaram. So here the Mathura Ishwaram, it was mentioned, the word was used to describe Kamsa. He is the controller of Mathura, master of Mathura. Krishna just killed him with so much astonishment. People were actually looking at it. So Hatam Drushva, they were just witnessing such a wonderful, surprising scene. So now, at this time, Sukadeva Goswami is acknowledging that Kamsa was so much in meditation of Krishna. So he was just like in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned that every moment one has to think of Lord Krishna. So Kamsa was thinking of Lord Krishna not in sneha, in actually fear. So Bhayat, so he was thinking of Lord Krishna in fear, Bhayat, but the Vaishnavas think of Lord Krishna in sneha, in love and affection. So here, because of that reason, whenever he was doing any natural duties like eating, sleeping, moving about, drinking, whatever he is doing, he was even in his breathing. It is mentioned that he was always seeing the Lord in front of him. So imagine, you can see the Lord, whatever you're doing, activities you're doing in front of you, how much fortunate we are. Kamsa was very much fortunate because he was able to remember the Lord, but he had, he was doing out of fear, bayat. But now, because of that thinking, smaran, that always remembering the Lord and thinking of the Lord, and he was also witnessing the Lord with the Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, like he was seeing the Lord's disc, like so. It's so much so that he was completely transforming himself into Swarup Mukti. So, um, so recently I was hearing one katha, like the husband and wife, when they really serve each other, and they actually in the later part of their life, they actually look exactly like the same, it seems, because they're serving each other, they're looking at each other, they thinking about each other. The husband just looks like wife, the wife just looks like the husband. The whole the effulgence, the face features, everything changes. So similarly, if that can happen for the human, thinking of a human being, what to speak of the Lord? Like we always think of the Lord, then Lord is actually giving a form like himself. So here, Kamsa got Swarupa Mukti, so which is the similar form like the Lordships. So even though he had so many offenses, he, because of the constant meditation, the Lord was so merciful, he just wiped off all his offenses. He took only the positive thing. So So that's why Prabhupada used to always, even we have one positive thing, he used to encourage, give that service to Krishna so that the Lord actually can magnify whatever good qualities we have, and then he minimizes all the bad qualities. So Krishna, he in the Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says that he carries what we lack, and then and he Krishna knows he's within the heart of all the Vaishnavas. He knows what we are lacking, and he encourages what we need. So here also comes a Lord has favored him with Swarupya Mukti. So and then going forward, Kamsa had eight younger brothers, it seems. Here it's named as Kanka and Gradaka. So they all attacked the lordships in a pretty much like a rage. So here it's mentioned um, Avayadavan Atikroda Atikrudaha Bharatu. So they're brothers with very much lot of rage and infuriation. They attacked Lord Krishna, but here it's mentioned that Balramji with his gada, he just wiped off all of them, just like a lion. It's mentioned. Aham pariga udamyo pashun iva mrugadipa. So mrugadipa is the lion, the king of all animals. He just immediately pashun means just like a common animals. So wielding his club, he just wiped off all the other the eight brothers mentioned here. So Kamsa, he married the daughters of Jarasandha. So here it is mentioned that as soon as Kamsa was killed, the whole sky was reverberating with a lot of sounds of festivity, kettle drums in the sky. Even it is mentioned that Brahma Adya Vibhuthaya Pashubhai Kirantastam Prituhu. So here the demigods, including Lord Shiva and Brahma and other demigods, they're all putting flowers. So this is praising the Lord, and they're also dancing. So Shashamai Nanrutu Striyaha. So their wives are all dancing, praising Lord Krishna and Balram. So we can understand that the how much whenever Lord performs any superhuman activities, the demigods are there to witness. They were enjoying this pastimes. So here Kamsa, brothers after brothers were killed, the wives of Kamsa were basically the Jarasandha's daughters. They were all very sad, witnessing the death of her husband. Now, so they are all coming forward and paying her their crying and paying their final rites, and they were also lamenting. So, so here it is mentioned, Muhu Suchaha. So their tears were shedding. Their husband is laying down, and they are glorifying. They're just starting to glorify their husband, and also finally acknowledging that how he was causing trouble to innocent creatures. So here it is mentioned that Bhuta Drukko Labate Sam. So here Tene Mam Bu Dasham Nitho Kritavan Droham Ulbanam. So Droham is violence, and he was giving violence against Anagasham Tvam Bhutanam, living entities. Just the so anyone who's causing violence against living entities, it is mentioned here that he will have to, he cannot be happy. So labate some means they have to achieve that the same unhappiness. So this is the words of wisdom they are speaking. You know, sometimes whatever you feel right thing to do, you cannot express it because they were subservient to their, Kamsa. They could not express what he was doing was wrong. But at this time, he is not there anymore. So they were lamenting and they are saying this is the fact. Similarly, Mandodari also, when Ravana died, Mandodari also spoke words of wisdom. In the case of Mandodari, she actually told her husband, but he could not listen. So here, um, finally, and after this event, Lord Krishna, it was mentioned, personally, he was performing the final rites. He was for Kamsa. So, and and the queens also said, it looks like they also understood Lord Krishna personally. And they were mentioning Sarva Isham Iha Bhutanam. So he is basically, the Lord Krishna is the person who causes the appearance and disappearance of all beings in this world. And he is also the maintainer. This fact they understood very perfectly. So, na kvachit sukam edate. So they're also saying that how can one be happy if we can disrespect the lordships? So very wise statements. We should understand that Srimad Bhagavatam also says, Nate vidur svardhagatim sa Vishnum. So one has to understand his own self-interest. Now we think our self-interest is to do so many things, accumulate so many things, but really our self-interest is to please Lord Vishnu. Haritoshanam. So we have to please Lord Vishnu. That is our real self-interest. If we can understand that, then everything that we do should be centered around that fact. So here the queens understood it, and then Sukadeva Goswami is elaborating that Lord Krishna personally consoled the royal ladies. So it is mentioned here that Raja Yoshita Ashvashya Bhagavata Loka Bhavanaha. So you see how much Lord Krishna is very personal. Even though Kamsa did so many cruel activities, he is personally consoling the queens, and he arranged for the final rites. So the Lord is very much personal, and he takes care of each and every um, relationships here. So here, and then immediately Krishna didn't wait any longer. Immediately he went to release Mother Devaki and Vasudev from the bondage. Mataram Pitaram Chaiva. So here it's mentioned Mata and Pita, father and mother. Mochayitva. So there is releasing from the bandhanat, so from their prison. So Krishna Ramau Vavandate Sirasha Sprusha. Excuse me. So they were paying obeisances at the feet of their father and mother. So imagine you are born and then you are immediately taken to another place. You grow up there, and then you're meeting your father and mother after so many years. And excuse me. So in this case, Lord Krishna and Balram, they were touching their mother's feet, but Vasudeva and Devaki were feeling more than the love and affection, Vatsalya Bhav, their Adurya Bhav, or the Dashya Bhav is overpowering them, because they never saw Krishna and Balram when they were young. They never actually gave any, gave them milk. She didn't feed Krishna. She didn't feed Balram. So there was no that love and affection during the small baby. When Krishna was a baby, she couldn't tender that love and affection. So immediately she was seeing Krishna after what? After killing Kamsa. This is like his is this majesty. His is, in Mathura he's also dressed like a king. He's not dressed like he was used to be in Vrindavan. So he's so much so that his mother and father is just seeing him as a lord, as a Bhagavan, with all the opulences. So that's why here it's mentioned they could not even embrace the lords, their sons. So, so eventually, Mother Devaki would actually express how she wants to understand how Krishna grew up with Mother Yashoda, all that she wants to relish. So eventually, she would hear it from Mother Yashoda. But for now, we can understand that how their mood is different at this point. So, so here, Sukadeva Goswami is capturing that bhava. You can see that how that Adhurya bhava. Like if you go to Tirupati, like you have to stand in like queue for 6 hours, and then you take darshan of the Lord, and he is dressed like a king. Very majestic, dressed like a king. So similarly, now Krishna is in Mathura. He's a king. He just killed the king of Mathura, Kamsa, and everyone thought now Krishna would actually take the position of the king, but he did not want. Actually, Krishna had so many other things, priorities. Um, so his main priority is to give love and affection towards Devaki and Vasudeva. So that so at this point now, Devaki and Vasudev just witnessing the first time they are witnessing Lord Krishna. So this is very special moment. You can see how the son reciprocates with mother and father. They always first touch their feet and then take blessings. That is how the first, even before embracing, they have to pay obeisances. This is how the Vedic culture is. Hare Krishna. This concludes the last verse for today. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vancha kalpatrubhyasya kripa sindhu bhyaye vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, devotees.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.